really tapers off as the game goes on. And that's going to be the issue. New Esports, all of your heroes have really good scaling compared to the slightly earlier trimers you have on Execration. And that just means, contrary to Naga pick, you don't want to play slow.
See if Execration can make this one work. Of course, they just want to be able to tie out the series if they can afford to here. New Esports one game away from getting the 2-0 victory.
Wait for it.
Like we said, it's going to be a tough one for Execration. Just depending on how Carl's lane goes, how Palace's lane goes.
Well,
Speaking of Palos, he's right now he's running down mid. I don't think he's going to stay there. I believe it should still be Carl in that mid lane on the Zeus. He's up to something.
Probably playing scouting games for the illusions. They don't last too long, though. Might be looking for a bait from New Esports to swap lanes, but they're not going to bite it. You know, DDZ is already there in mid, and Kunkka, he's got the shared tangos. The one lane that's super important here as well, beyond just Carl's performance, Raging Potatoes off-lane snap. Right, we've talked about this in multiple games. Execration has been giving Raging the Snapfire off. The timing into the mech, the timing into Guardian Reeves cannot be slowed down. That's really what the snap's all about. Beyond just burning down that egg from Barry, you need to have that sustain in play. The timings of that are very sensitive for a hero like this, and it doesn't flash farm well, so you can't lag behind from that laning phase.
No, you can't.
The battle begins.
Execration get their 2 bounty runes down at the bot lane, and New Esports will do the same up at the top lane. Even start between the two. It is indeed, of course, going to be Barry on the position for Phoenix, and Candyloon will be taking over on the Underlord. Does already go for the double ring of regen. Now, that has been the build for the offlaners as of late, just offering a lot more regen for quite a little bit of gold in comparison to other forms of regen, and should be able to just sit in the lane and do whatever he wants. Like, in with RR here on that Disruptor. Sure, he's going to be able to spam Thunderstrike, but Candyloon should really not be copping that much harass.
No, and it's probably level 1 where it's most painful for an Underlord. Level 3 is where the nice spike starts to come in. So you get levels in Atrophy or the Firestorm, and you can start shoving this Naga off. They are doing good damage, though. This is what Execration needs to get done. Leverage that stronger level 1, level 2 presence you've got with the Disruptor, and try to get Candy to burn through regen. 1 Tango left. If he burns through the next, while he's still pretty far from level 3, he's going to have to ferry additional regen out.
He will. See if that does happen. Mid lane, DDZ and Carl going to be up against each other. DDZ should have somewhat of an advantage considering he does have the Tidebringer. Barry, top lane, drops very low. RR wants to keep chasing him down. Doesn't have Thunderstrike for another few seconds, so Barry will have the chance to salve up. But what I was saying about the mid lane, John, is DDZ, although it's going to be annoying to be up against that Zeus, once you get a few levels up in that Tidebringer, I think Carl should be the one struggling here.
Yeah, it's going to take a few levels. At some point, Carl is going to run out of mana. That's the one thing with Zeus. When you play Arc Lightning spam, of course, you don't have enough to sustain. There's no CM in the game as well to help you speed that along. So DDZ is going to hold his own. Still has a lot of regen to play with. And that does mean, you know, Carl's going to have to be a bit cautious. He's got, what, 2 spell casts left? And then DDC starts to take over. Level 2 Tidebringers up. That physical damage, not going to be easy for Carl to contend with once it starts getting pumped out. So, going to have to watch out for that. Bounty runes, no, the power rune spawn is going to be important as well. So the supports here in bot are going to have their work cut out for them. You've got BDZ on his Tiny, laning up with Raging's offlane. Snap, of course, up against Yamate and Mosin. And so far, they have kept Yamate's farm in check. It's 10-1. It's not too bad. It's not like Raging's so far ahead. But it's not a very comfy lane for Yamate. He is copying a lot of hits and should be careful with that HP.
Oh, that cookie. The courier just turns around last second. Sorry, not the courier, the creep turned around last second. I'm not sure why. Just It de-aggroed on Yamate, but they still got the Avalanche toss-off, and Yamate is going to be the first blood. BDZ and Raging do manage to make it happen.
He's got... It's like... we cursed him, you know, right then. But you can't play too aggressive. Like, there is a lot of early burst that you can get from a snap, and a tiny. We've seen that time and time over. There's not as much presence from Avenge. You know, she can right-click, she can let off the wave of terror, but it's not clear-cut, and you as the faceless Void, you want good timing into the Mask of Madness, so some caution is required here for Yamate. Just get the steady farm up. Don't play too many games with Raging.
You think they should be able to just force him out of this lane. Mosen's trying to now with the Venge. Yamate's not being too aggressive on that Void. He's just sitting back and trying to secure CS. Like, we do have some more lag issues coming out from Execration. They did have a couple last game. Now it'll take too long this time around. It just looks like it's standard lag issues happening. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go.
Much quicker break. Fortunately, we didn't see everyone disconnect for that. So, good signs for Execration holding up their net still. Been a pretty good laning phase so far for both sides. It's not much of a swing yet. Less than 1k lead for Execration, so they are having a fantastic time. I think you can really look at Raging's performance here. It's a lot better. Like, the pressure he's putting on Yamate is a lot better. He's forcing Yamate to just constantly pop the time walk, and that opens up opportunities for BDZ to walk in. If they catch Yamate out in that downtime, he's not going to regen that HP.
Look up towards that top lane, Candylure, he's well and truly in that prime position as an Underlord now, where you literally just can't die in lane. 2 points in the Trophy Aura, Ring of Health and Ring of Regens, up and ready to go. He's just passively healing so much that there's no chance of even getting harassment out. That's why RR has left the lane at level 2 on the Disruptor, not willing to soak XP or take anything off the Naga Siren right now. There's just no point in him being there. I don't believe they've done enough to Candylure to warrant the Disruptor pick.
Yeah, it's the same thing goes though for Candylure on Palos. So Palos' farm is still steady. It's a lot better than Yamate's farm. And Yamate can't jungle the same way as a Naga can. Naga can just clear those camps a bit faster. So if you leave the Naga alone, and he's off to a pretty decent start in the lane phase.
Nice kill onto Mosen. Yamate going to try and chase down BDZ. They are going to be able to get a trade on those supports. And Yamate does get a bit of bonus gold for himself, which he did desperately need.
Yeah, it's an important trade. I think Carl's still going to be happy getting a kill off with his Thunder God's Rat. You're always happy as Zeus if you get that right in the 6 mark. God's given a little bit of a boost. He's going for the Yules first. He gets to use his regen, goes into the camps. Wonderful time. No deep wards from new Esports to punish that, but they don't really have the best roaming duos. They're going to have to concede the jungle early on. They do spot some stacks, so BDZ, look at that position. He's clearing out those stacks for the Naga.
That's really good. And I believe it's not even the Naga that was going to take it. It may have been the Zeus that may have opted to take it. And Carl, now realizing he needs to come in there and see what's going on, is missing a big stack. We'll go ahead and start clearing out the other one. Carl's trying to take a bit of gold for himself as well. That is a fair amount of gold you just gifted to the Kunkka. Well, now they realize there was a ward there the whole time. Meanwhile, bot lane Raging does also drop. The nice rotation out from Barry and BDZ. He is unable to get a trade going.
Yeah, you're starting to see a bounce back here on the aggression for New. It is paying off. Like, they found the last 2 kills so far. They're trying to chase BDZ, but DDZ has been comfy enough to just run up that jungle. That's a bit of an issue. You know, the Kunkka is just free to roam in by himself to keep checking those stacks, keep taking jungle camps away. You've got the Zeus. You should be playing more with the D-wards. Like, again, there's still that fresh ward up there from the Radiant side, and it hasn't been taken out.
He didn't have Thunderbolt at the time, but now he does. So Carl, he maybe just forgot about it. It's a bit unfortunate for him. Bot lane, BDZ, gonna find Mosen. doesn't have mana for the toss back onto Raging, but the Thunder God's Wrath again going to come out from Carl, and that'll be enough. Only issue being is Yamate is going to chase down BDZ, but Yamate does not get lucky with any form of a bash. And BDZ looks to probably be safe. No, he's not. The Chrono will be committed by Yamate. He wants the kill, and he will get the kill.
Oh, that was just perfect timing. You know, he was 5 for a long time. They get the chase into the creep wave. Not the spot Execration should have run into. And Yamate gets to pick up a kill for free. Keeping that kill board even 3-3. 1k advantage still on Execration's side. So, you know, it's still looking swimmingly there for Execration. They've still got a runaway start in terms of farm for Carl and Palos. But you can't discount new Esports. They're starting to get the EXP in. We're looking for the Phoenix 6 next for the supports. Once that's up, you can play more, but Palos...
Oh, dead easy. Can he get the right one? No, he's actually just going to let Palos go. Interesting decision there. I thought he might try for the X. Palos doesn't have Song up yet, so that may have been a guaranteed kill had you hit the X, but... it is a level 2 X after all. Maybe he just didn't have the range. Either way, mid lane, Yamate. Bit of danger here. Does get glimpsed back after a time walk and is probably just dead. He can't get out of this one. The boat will fly in from DDZ, but it is not going to help.
That's just some interesting movement out from New Esports and interesting decisions. They punished Yamate well, though. So Execration going to be very happy with that. Increasing the lead to 2k. Just buying time. Their slower playstyle is not being punished as much as we expected. Palos has been free to farm up. You know, he's making steady progress towards the Manta style. Take a look back at Carl as well. The Yules is going to be up and running relatively soon. So a lot of things lining up here for Execration. They aren't under as much pressure as you'd expect. It's still going to be a while for New Esports to get the combo off. That is one of the things you do give up when you've got the support Phoenix. The EXP gain is just not that fast, so that's going to delay the combo.
Top lane, Candloon does manage to pick up a kill onto RR, as they were fighting over the 10-minute bounty runes. Raging, going to be cautious as they are still around. They'll get his courier. Thunder Gods is going to come out, but doesn't do too much apart from kill Barry on the Phoenix. And Raging is actually going to be left alone. They don't feel confident making the dive in.
Yeah, it's strange. They had 3 heroes up top. They play it safe. They're going to have Chrono up soon. Perhaps they'll just look to Yamate to get that setup for the kill. They are giving their tier 1 bot for this. It's going to have to be a worthwhile clump up top to compensate for losing an objective.
Ozen, nice swap out on Raging. They have the Chrono now available on Yamate, and he'll commit, and he'll get 2 in there as BDZ was TPing in, and will go straight into it, but they won't try to focus down the Tiny. They'll just accept the Raging kill, and now, well, they might have to fight again. But Static Storm is going to catch out your Phoenix, so Barry is going to die, and now Candyloo is going to try for BDZ on the Tiny, and they do manage to pick him up. And that'll be it, a 2-for-1. Everyone does disengage.
Yeah, it's a really worthwhile win for New Esports. They punish Execration once more. They get a kill onto Raging, slowing down the Snapfire, and that's always what you want to do as New Esports. Still, Execration, this is all space being bought out for Palos. He takes out that tier 1 bot. You're not seeing an exchange in terms of objectives yet from New Esports. Their lineup doesn't push the fastest, but you're going to have to start making some headway in terms of map control, because Execration now, they've got a very safe spot for Palos to just play the farming game.
I mean, Palos has been farming just quite nicely. Seems as though New Esports don't really care for it, though. We really haven't seen any sort of smoke come out, or any kind of chase onto Palos. He's just been left alone to do whatever he wants. It seems though they're very, very comfortable just letting that happen. Still mid lane, Barry getting an avalanche tossed by BDZ and does go down off the back of the glimpse from RR. Do they really not care about the Naga? They're just... She's literally 0-0-0, John. She hasn't been involved in any kind of fight. Nobody's even tried to find where he is. Yeah,
it's the perfect Naga game. It's Execration playing aggressive. They're looking to catch Candy, but Looks like that smoke might just be for naught.
Candy, that's a nice bit of malice out. Where's your follow-up? Boat, not going to connect on RR. Barry going to come in with the Sun Ray, but Static Storm going to cancel that off. And now Barry's gone with the Thunder God's Wrath out from Carl. DDZ getting very low and does also go down. And now Candyloon, the only man left, but he's also gone. A triple kill out for Carl on the Zeus. And this is getting out of control now. Execration. They have gotten way too much on this Zeus. And even mid lane, Yamate. Gonna get caught out now on your Void. Gets tossed up into a cookie. And Execration are well and truly in control of this game.
Yeah, these decisions made by New Esports are just really questionable at best. They break the smoke up top, but they choose to jump back in thinking it's safe. Yeah, Barry in a very awkward spot, not getting his first egg off. Really important to let that thing go. They lose an objective now. It's 60-11, a 7k lead for Execration. The gap between the cores of Execration and the cores of New Esports growing really wide. Carl and Palos just left unchecked. Really big now. The timing for Carl into the Ags is going to be amazing. He just lacks 1k gold. We're talking about maybe a 15-16 minute Ags on the Zeus. And that's just going to do a lot of work for Execration, even by Palos, right? Like, he's got the Manta up, he's going into the Scotty, and he's been left completely alone. 0-0-1 now, 1 assist, but New Esports, they have to make headway in this map. They've got to get a push going somewhere, take an objective somehow, and start to look at that jungle, because Palos is just taking control of it.
And Carl's farm really is insane. Like, you pointed out how fast this Aghanim Scepter is going to be up, but considering the fact that he went for the double null talismans and the Yules beforehand, it's kind of insane how fast he's farmed this up. And yeah, maybe another minute. Like you said, the 16-minute mark should be around the point where he does get it. That is very, very problematic for New. So even now, if you do commit that chrono, he's going to be able to Nimbus you straight away, and you're not going to want to stand in them, because it does way too much damage.
No. It's going to be difficult. That does mean Yamate might consider the fast BKB, and he is. He's queuing up. He's already got the Ogre Axe, so just going to finish a BKB to be safe. They do take the top tier one. There's some progress on the map now for New Esports, just getting some deep wards out as well. The issue is that's not where Execration has been playing. That bot jungle still in very good control here. They've got the pipe up on Candido, so that is there to mitigate some of that damage they've been receiving. Whether or not that's going to be enough with how far ahead Carl is, that remains to be seen, but Execration, they're just confident. They're grouping up for another shove on that bot tier 2.
Carl's having a look through the tree line and see if he can spot anyone out. So they aren't going to push their luck too far. Palos still has plenty of farming to go on the Naga, so there's no real rush for them. They can just sit back, relax, and get that Eye of Skadi up on Palos.
Oh,
Because you...
right in time. 16 minutes for the Ags. Perfect.
Perfect. And with that, like, you know you're not going to be in danger. Because again, he's going to always be able to throw that Nimbus and Thunder God's Wrath out if somebody is getting ganked on the side of Execration. And now even mid lane, DDZ gonna cop a cookie. BDZ trying to go for the avalanche toss, but it's a nice swap out from Mosin, but raging. Making it rain fire, does get a double, and they want more. They're pushing for that mid lane. Canloon and Barry gotta be a little bit cautious. That'll be it for Execration. They'll leave with a 9k net worth lead.
And you're seeing the effect of a core snap that does get its timings right. So really good timings for Raging. He's going to have the Guardian Greaves up soon. He's got his Hood of Defiance. He's doing the damage with his EXP. He's got the control. And New Esports, man, they are just sitting on these spells. Like, they're just waiting on the Chrono Egg. And this is a trap a lot of teams go into. When you draft that Faceless Void and the Phoenix together, you have to use the spells. You have to force fights when they're up. If you don't, then why did you draft that combo if you're not going to use the two spells together anyway?
Well, that's a good point, and we just haven't seen that yet. Yamate still just trying to get a BKB up on the Void. So after that Mask of Madness pickup, it's been a slow process for our Faceless Void. Just going to keep trying to farm up. Same can be said for our Kunkka. He's got the Solar Crest up now, but would have expected it just a little bit faster than that. They are going to try and sneak a quick Roshan, and looks like they might actually get away with this as Execration. They don't have any wards around this Roshan kit.
No, and they don't have Thunder Gods as well. They do have the Nimbus. There you go.
Can you make it in time? No, there's no way to make it in time. They'll let it go. Yamate will go ahead and pick up an Aegis. I guess that makes you feel a little bit safer if you're new Esports. I don't think they can really go ahead and take a fight with that Aegis unless they have to kind of counterfight, but apart from that, they should be using it quite defensively.
Yeah, it's just going to let Yamate continue to farm safely. Again, that BKB timing can be very important for the Void. He's just playing in that warded top jungle. Again, there's been no heroes there from Execration. That's a safe spot for them. You know, Carl's just going to be spamming out the Thunder Gods to keep scouting, but Execration are happy with a slower game. This is giving time for Palos to finish that Scotty. He is about 600 gold, 700 gold off. And once you've got that up in the Naga, that means you're going to have stats. You're going to slow down regen. That might come out here from new Esports and complicates it when you have to fight into that Naga now.
It is. Execration, they seem very, very comfortable with just sitting back now, waiting out that Aegis expiry before they try to get anything else done. Of course, Carl's just going to go for those BOTs into a Blink Dagger and just have that added mobility on this Zeus. That way you can just keep every single lane pushed out without a doubt. So of course, you do have Palos on the Naga who can do the exact same thing with the mirror images. And this should keep new Esports quite contained on their own side of the map. But for now, with that BKB up and the Aegis, they're going to try and go for a bit of a smoke play. Raging barely misses that Torrent. X is going to be there into the boat and Static Storm. It's all onto Raging Potato, and he is going to be left behind to die. The rest of Execration setting up to maybe counter-initiate here. Palos going to make a chase onto Mosin. Does get the glimpse off there from Ara, and that'll be Mosin dying. I believe new Esports might just be done now. They don't really want to go back in. In fact, BDZ's the one to try and go back in with a great toss back onto Candyloon. That'll force out the Dark Rift, but he can't survive the magic damage. Carl, he is just doing way too much.
Oh yeah, they're just starting to rip through. Even those Riptides coming in from the Naga are a bit too much, and they get another glimpse.
Very nice. It's going to force out the Phoenix Egg. Casual Torrent out onto Ara, but he's going to juke it out. That'll be your egg wasted. Execration. They're just going to leave it at that. No need to try and force anything else.
Yeah, I mean, they forced out the BKB from Esports. Yamate has to realize, as that BKB ticks down, you've got more opportunities for the Song to interrupt you, for the Disruptor Static Storm to do damage, and that's the cue to smoke up. Execration ready to go.
They know the Chrono's still there, but they just don't seem to give a crap. In fact, Avalanche Toss and Mortimer's Kisses gonna be onto DDZ, and man, he just melts. Once BDZ gets in there with the Avalanche Toss and you have the Nimbus on top, it just seems impossible to survive. And speaking of, Static Storm gonna be out now on our Phoenix, and he is also gone. Carl will pick up another easy kill, and that will be the 8th of the game for him.
Oh man, it's been a fantastic run for Carl as well. 8-0-8, not a single death, and that's that passive play of new
Yamate. Oh, he barely gets the time walk off the time. Does BKB and TP's out.
Oh no, it's ticking down at BKB. 8 seconds left, Mike, and yeah, you know, at some point you're just barely gonna have enough to last you the entire chrono, but nothing for before it, nothing for after it, no leeway, no room for mistakes when you pop it as it ticks down. Yamate has to be super cautious. He is farming up for a Maelstrom, so that's gonna give them some D-push capabilities to stave off the illusion spam. But the lead grows bigger. 13k lead now for Execration, 7-17. That Scotty is up on Palos, and he is saving up for the Abyssal on the Naga. And once you've got that, not even a BKB will save you.
Certainly not. When are we going to see this next chrono from Yamate? How long has it been now? It's been such a long time.
Yeah, right. 17, 18 minutes since the last chrono. He used it right when he turned 6 at the bot lane. And
that was it.
That was it. That was literally it. Like, again, you're sitting on this Phoenix faces Void combo. You gotta use it. They are cautious because they're scared of the Song counterplay. Even the BKB shouldn't be any. It's just small mistakes like that are costing them. Now their age is expired, so if they wanted to make a play, it's definitely not as safe as before. And Execration, they're gonna have just an advantage in that sense because they've got the lead, they've got the momentum. They have literally not even found a kill on Carl, which is a Zeus. You know, we're so used to Zeus's dying. How has Carl not been punished? He's just alive. He's just fine.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it surely with the chrono out, you can at least go for a support pick-off. You have a Phoenix Void. You can just Sunray through the chrono, and that should be basically a guaranteed kill. If Song gets committed, Song gets committed. But if you're going to hold on to this big chrono for so long, you start to question what the point of picking up the Void was.
It's a risky one. It's a bit of a trap we've seen teams fall to when they do get this combination. Still, smoke out from new Esports. Maybe they find something.
They're going to give it a shot. Mosen, smoke broken by Raging. He'll be happy to die for his team here, but there is plenty of time for them to catch up, and they know exactly where they are. Raging buying more time as the boat is going to fly in, but he is still alive on the Snapfire. The egg comes out. He'll use the little shredder, but his team will not be there to back him up. They want to counter-initiate now. Once the egg is gone, BDZ gets an avalanche, but Candyloon is going to tuck Rift, or maybe not. He gets glimpsed, but a nice X back. A very, very... Maybe not a nice X back. He tried. I guess that was the only place he could X him.
Oh, man. That was a ping-pong ride. Just... how does that feel, huh? To go across the map that fast? Not a great feeling, but man, these trades for new esports, like you find Raging, you lose your own offlaner.
It's still going.
Execrate. Oh.
Yeah, DDZ. He's in a fight with the BDZ. Yamate has the chrono. Carl's going to come in, try and force him to use it. He will not, however, and BDZ should still be dead here. We'll turn around for a casual avalanche, but that'll be enough. Let's go down, and it's a nice little pick up there for new esports, but they are still behind by 13k. It is still a very, very bad predicament for them in this game number 2.
It's a weird prospect. Like, you're going to be happy with those kills, but you're wasting your BKB on Yamate down to 7 seconds. So we're ticking down to 5 soon, Mike. And again, at the 5-second mark, you'll barely have enough for your full chrono. Going to be a window there where Execration can still get some control off. Have to be super cautious about how you start these fights now from new. They're still playing this farming game for the most part, beyond a couple of smokes here and there. That's giving Palos time to finish that Abyssal. Very close to it, just lacking the Vanguard and the recipe, and once that's up, you know, it's going to be difficult because Palos will just be ready to go. He's going to have some innate mobility on hand. You've got even a blink up on Raging, so he can just jump in, make some plays for himself, or even just blink out if he gets the opportunity. And it's just not a great sign. Even RR has the space to save up for the Ag. So that's an Ag Static Storm, basically an AoE Doom. You cannot play against that if you are a new esports, because your BKBs aren't going to save you.
Yeah, and with that Philosopher's Stone, he just passively gets that gold. In fact, well, poor old Mosen is going to be free food every time Carl has that Thunder God's Wrath off cooldown. Yeah, that he was. Meanwhile, Yamate is still trying to get that Eye of Skadi up now on the Void, but oh, I believe I just saw another Aghanim Scepter. Who was it that just picked one up?
Oh, DDZ.
Alright,
Torrent Storm isn't playing. Yeah, it's pretty nice with a chrono, and that is one way to maximize it even further. We just have to see it. We have got to see that chrono. They're building up for it, but it's not quite up there yet. Again, more time for certain items to fly out. We've got the Kaya on Carl. He's going to be saving for that Bloodstone next. And once you've got that, all your mana issues as the Zeus solve. You're just not going to have any problem maintaining your spells.
Thing is, Palace is about to have that Abyssal on. I'm starting to get really concerned here for new esports. Like, that Abyssal's going to make it extremely difficult to deal with this Naga Siren. They are going to try and sneak another Roshan, and they might actually get away with it for the second time. Nimbus will give vision, but again, it's going to be too late. In Execration, well, they're still making their way there, but, oh, Carl, he's going to jump in after Mosen. RR looking for a glimpse back. Mosen, still alright, and RR, can't see him.
Missed opportunities. Execration has to be more disciplined around Roche Pit. They need more actual wards on hand, because they keep giving these Roches away. That is one way for new esports to bounce back in. They have more leeway for how Yamate starts these fights. They can opt for the chrono after the first Aegis use, so again, just more opportunities to set up, play around what Execration's trying to bring out, and does give them a little bit of a boost as well. They pass the cheese into DDZ, so they're just taking time here. Gonna have a Scotty coming out for Yamate next, but that Abyssal we were talking about, of course, it's up in Palos. He's ready to go, and he's basically ready to just mad fight. Like, this is a very big Naga we're looking at now.
Execration, well, they jump in, a great avalanche toss, but Yamate will be able to turn around. Raging now, in a bit of danger, will try to cookie out of there, but looks like he has been left alone as well. Palos does come in with the song, but Torrent Storm's there now. They can't disengage. Raging, he's getting bounced up and down, and Yamate, a great chrono out, but Carl is outside of the chrono, and he gets the Aegis going. Palos, however, can he make his way out? He wants to go for a run, but he's been X'd up, and he is sure to die here. He will. New esports, even with that chrono, not really panning out the way they wanted, they do win the team fight.
Yeah, it's a bit messy, but they make it work. The combination with Torrent Storm buying enough time. Very strange movements from Execration, right? They opt to jump in from the other ramp instead on the opposite side of that triangle. They get punished for such a slow response, and they might lose their tier 1 mid. It's been a while, but that should be some nice progress for new esports. They don't even get to stick around for it, and what?
Glimpse back, but they have the X back onto Candy Loon. BDZ, however, going for a toss back attempt. They aren't going to be able to get that on. Oh, Carl, he's been swapped in by Mosen. This could be a huge pickoff for new esports if they can get it. And Carl is being left to die. They'll throw the cookie up, but it is too late. He is gone. And now Execration on the run. Yamate will happily come in for RR's life. What has happened to Execration?
Oh, I wish I knew. I wish I knew how new esports woke up as well. They're suddenly playing a lot better. Their decision making's on point. DDZ's Torrent Storm really giving them the opportunities to find those openings, to find these kills, dragging that lead down to 9k. Execration have to be a bit careful. They're getting control off, and they're being punished pretty hard for sort of overstepping their bounds. And if you keep doing that, well, Fates' Void late game still scales.
It is gonna scale, that's the thing. And BDZ now jumping in. But he's alone, like, what are you jumping in for?
I don't know. I really don't know what's up with that. It's just strange, is the way to say it. Less than ideal would be another kind way to put it, but new esports, you know, they'll take it. They're not going to ask those same questions. They claw it back, 14-20. And Yamate, level 20 mark. He's got his level 20 count, minus 1.75 seconds on the time walk. He gets to spam that out a bit more survivability for him. You don't even have level 20 yet in Palos because of those kills. Like, the EXP bounce back for new esports was that big that they have overtaken in terms of EXP. So Execration has to be a lot more disciplined. It grew a little bit sloppy there. Need to stitch it back together Maybe wait out RR's Ags. That's been stalled out. He's one part away, so 1,000 gold off. Once you've got that AoE Doom, you have easier ways of setting these fights up, but you have to contend with Yamate having the Eye of Scotty, and he is farming into an Ags. So he's going to get that nice bash in with a Time Walk, and that can be really hard to play against if he gets to jump in right.
Raging. He's going to back off at the right time up at that top lane. Mosen's still having a look around, just getting some sentry wards out. Execration just trying to buy more time. You almost have that Aghanim Scepter on RR, so that's going to be a big deal with that Static Storm. He's going to be able to land it though. We haven't really seen any kind of Song into Static Storm combination yet. That's been one thing with Palos throughout this game, is he has been very, very hesitant on that Naga. He's been farming great, don't get me wrong. He's been top of the net worth board for the whole game. But every team fight that breaks out, you just don't see him. He's it's been very quiet.
Yeah, and they've been using that song defensively much more of the time, and even then, the circumstances, it's been defensively, but not into the chrono. So the timing of that has been off. There is a smoke here, though, from Execration. There's a BKB flying out as well for Palos.
They could go after Yamate. Oh, Song. Unfortunately timed. Carl's still going to blink in, so will BDZ, but DDZ does pop the BKB with the X out. Does try to get the Yules off, but BDZ should just be dead, but he gets a nice toss off. Now Static Storm, RR.
What?
Oh boy. They messed it up pretty hard. There goes RR, and Palos running away with his 10-second BKB is probably still dead. DDZ might be able to close the gap here for an X. Carl, he's going to turn around and try to help, but there's a chrono out from Yamate, and that'll mean the X can come out now with the torrent play. Palos going to try and mirror image, but he is almost certainly just going to die. They'd love to get Carl and the Zeus now to boot, but Carl looks to be safe. Execration, John, I'm not sure what they're trying to do there. That was a complete mess.
I have no words for that Static Storm. They were banking on that Static Storm too. That was the offensive song play we were looking for, but it doesn't land on anyone. So the follow-up chrono is really easy to commit. There were some fast hands from Carl to get the Yules off though, so they did waste some time. They found a counter kill on Barry, but that doesn't compensate for losing all these big cores, and suddenly 17 to 21, 36 minutes in, lead down to 5k. Execration have to be asking themselves, how do we bounce back in? Because they've got the slight lead, but that's all on Palos. They do smoke up.
They're going to try and catch Yamate. BDZ, Avalanche Toss with Static Storm, but swap out. And now they're going to turn again. BDZ is going to be left behind. That was your Aghanim Scepter Static Storm being committed by RR.
Holy moly!
But with no vision, it was a hard ask to expect to get that kill. Of course, the Venge could easily swap him out.
Yeah, that's the tricky part now. Like they're not able to find his heroes end. You have to be a bit cautious with Carl as well. He's standing pretty far out. They spot BDZ.
They're going to try and go after the Kunkka. Palos trying to get the work done, but DDZ, he'll BKB up, and the Sunray is helping just a bit. He does activate that Torrent Storm, and Mosen once again is going to save him with that swap. And he'll go for a reset. Comes back in with the X. Looking pretty healthy, and oh, they look like they want to fight, but they are going to try and drag out the time, wait for the next chrono, which is up in 20 seconds. Palos has to be cautious with his positioning here. Does have the song up. It's like Both teams are going to back. Just going to wait out the next Roshan play, which is up in a minute 20.
Yeah, and they've got tier 4 items to farm up for. They're just going to go ahead and fill up on that first as well. Do have the Ags out here for Raging Potato, so he can try to make saving plays here with a spit. Whether or not it's gonna be on point, we'll have to find out. Really nice items coming out here as well. A leveler out for Palos, who would like the Illusionscape more, but that is on new Esports side, so a bit unfortunate not having that, but they're holding on here. 6k lead still being maintained. They're keeping eyes on Roche. A bit too early for Palos. 40 seconds too early. Have to be feeling, have to be a bit safer. The Ags is already up there from Yamate. So if he does time walk in, he gets an instant dash. He gets instant control. He gets to, just drop the chrono instant on top as well if he wanted to, and just really pile on the damage.
Just trying to find a way into this team fight. Execration, I believe they are starting to feel like they can't take this too late. Palos is certainly dropped off as the big boy in this game. Even that win probability, you look at where it was for Execration, it was sitting so far for them. And just gradually after these really, really weird team fights, we're back to the just above 53% now for New. See what happens next, I suppose. I mean, they're still trying to get aggressive here. It's perfectly fine. Just about not blinking everyone in to areas with absolutely zero vision.
Yeah, gotta be careful about that. They did manage to spot the Roche though, so Execration are aware it's up. They can't allow the third Roche to just go to the Esports. They've gotten 2 Roches in a row for free. Third one can't go as well, but Yamate's already starting.
Well, they just used the Thunder God's Wrath, and once again they are lacking vision. Smoke up.
Loaded to the gills.
Yeah, he's going to use that smoke to get back in that Roshan pit.
How is it you don't have a ward around Roche at this point? That again, they've let go of 2 Roches for free. They're making it harder for the third one, but you don't have wards there. It's just gonna be open for the pickings. The timings aren't lining up for Execration. Palos is camping that pit again. Like, he was there for 40 seconds a while ago, mind you, waiting for the Roche to be up. They've either got to go for it or get their timing right when Carl actually uses his spells, because he keeps casting that Nimbus. They're never around to punish, and they're back in there.
There's that Roshan. Does get very low in New Esports. They're going to give it more time. Not willing to go too far, but Palos might be able to steal now. There's that Nimbus to help out. Thunder God's Wrath to give vision. Smoke is out, will be broken. Yamate has chrono, doesn't fit quite yet, and now does. He's caught 2 of them, but Raging has jumped in. Still, the turret boat does fly out. Aegis on the deck. Palos, he does take it off Yamate. And with that, they might be able to take this team fight. Barry, he does get the egg off. Carl gonna blink in, trying to stop somebody. DDZ gonna be swapped out by Mosen. Song gonna be way out of range. They do at least get the Venge. They'll settle. Bissell, he has the Glimmer Cape, and well, they do finally get him. Palos eventually get him the kill. Looks like that'll be enough. They are gonna go back and just get some more farm up for themselves.
Yeah, it's I'd say a pretty good time for Execration managing to snag that one away. They get the Ags upgrade as well. So Palos, not only does he have the Aegis, has the Ags upgraded songs. So they've got regen to reset here on Execration's side. Suddenly 13k up ahead now. Looking at the high ground, they need to land the egg chrono. For some reason, the chrono was out, the egg was not. And they lost an opportunity there to really just start to reel in more control for New Esports.
Here goes that tier 2 tower now. Palos gonna feel confident to just take it out. Yamate does have an active scepter up. Palos will be able to avoid the bow, but Yamate again jumping in with that axe, just getting that guaranteed bash off. Palos, he's in danger. He has the song up in a few seconds. He's going to try and commit, but Mosin does swap him back. Palos still not getting it out. He'll BKB and try to fight this one with the Aegis. Turning back around onto Candyloon. There's your Dark Rift, but it may not be there in time. In fact, Candyloon does die. And suddenly Execration, winning a team fight 3-1, are going to rush for the high ground.
Oh, this is a massive opening. No buyback on our Void, no buyback on the Underlord. It's basically 2 heroes against the world here. They still have the egg, but is that going to be enough to stop 4 heroes from push? It doesn't look like.
No, it doesn't. They're going to try and torrent to delay things, and Candyloon will commit the buyback, but that's not going to be enough for them to go back here, surely. Gobble up, that is a very nice hit there from Raging, and now Palos going to move in onto that Underlord. He just brought back, but Palos gets hit by the boat and might just lose the Aegis. But Candy is still in danger and does die with the dieback. Back to the racks it is. Knowing that that Underlord is gone for about 2 minutes, they might be able to go for a secondary.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have the Faces Void up in a sec. So you're going to have the Chrono Egg combination in play, but 20 seconds is a long time when Palos has that leveler.
Certainly is, and he's got the butterfly now flying out. It could be, well, not quite megas, because of that tier 2 top tower still being standing. But it is going to be a pretty significant lead now for Execration. 26k worth of a lead, by the way, and oh, swap in from Mosin. They're going to commit the chrono onto Palos, and they should be able to clean him up. A nice play out from Mosin. Onto RR. Yamate should be able to get this one very easily, and does. So they do get a couple kills back. Still 2 Raxes behind now, but they might be able to get something going.
Oh yeah, it's a big set of kills. There's no buyback on Palos for quite a fair bit of gold. And Yamate, he's feeling big. He gets his 25 talent. He has the backtrack. They're looking to regain some ground. They've got to eat through these tier 2s first. There's a refresh up on Raging Potato for whatever reason, but there it is. We'll see if that's going to change the course here. Going to have to hold it for a full minute without the Naga.
I mean, in some way, that having the refresh is going to be pretty useful, right? You get the double Gobble Up, you get the double Mortimer's Kisses, even the little Shredder. You can refresh it twice, so it'll be 12 hits on the end. Swap, Mosin, going to catch out the Snapfire Raging Potato, and, well, speaking of the devil, he is going to die.
Oh, no buyback on him. He just finished that refresh. It's way far off in terms of gold, and that's going to cost them. So they're going to have to play as 4 for an additional minute 20. They are going to have their Naga up, though. That's going to be a bit of a boon, and they've got a repair kit, of course, as is balanced.
Here we go, glimpse back into the Static Storm. That might be your Void dead. He's trying to survive. Nice Echo coming out from our Phoenix. That is going to save the day. Barry doing some good work with that Ags. Looks like that'll be enough for New. They got the tier 2, and that'll be it. They just want to get out of there.
Yeah, pretty decent set of gains. You would have wanted to take that tier 3, even out some map control for New, but they somehow clawed their way back. Although Yamate
gets in there on RR, gets the kill.
Ooh.
Palos tried to get the song off, but just a bit too late. Now, New Esports. I mean, they're so far behind in terms of net worth. Like, we're 21k behind here for New Esports, but they've taken over the map again.
Yeah, they're just playing forward. They feel confident. They've got the control. You are seeing Yamate start to rock back into the game, and you know, they're just feeling good. Execration have to really be careful. I think it's down to how Palos has been positioning himself. Needs to really balance out when to use that song. Because every time he uses it and the chrono's not been expended, they wait it out. Once it's gone, straight chrono, finish off the Naga, and they have nothing to be worried about. It's only the song that can really hold them back. There is some farm coming out here for Execration though. BDZ does have an E-Blade up, so he can go for some shotgun plays as necessary. That is somewhat there. He can also shotgun Yamate if he doesn't have the BKB, and that could be a bit of a risk. That's going to be an easy disarm and prevent the chrono from being as good as you'd want if you do get caught as that with the Void.
What are we even waiting on now? Like, Execration, there are basically 6 slotted on Palos now, right? Like, you can get rid of the treads. That's really all that's left. I don't know what he wants. He may just want to tank up and just get something like a Satanic or a Heart. Finish it off for himself, but... We've got the Axe upgrade on that Naga. Mosen. Oh, nice chrono out from Yamate, and they have caught Carl. Static Storm also going to be dropped from RR, but it does not catch out Palos. Doesn't really matter though. Yamate. Song is out. Boats to fly out.
Oh no.
Palos does get hit by the boat. Still going to be alright. They're cooking him out. Now the egg is great out from our Phoenix. And that is going to make it very hard for him to fight back. It's even BDZ. Does get caught. He's going to die, it looks like, on the Tiny. And once again, new Esports. Get another 3 kills, and this net worth graph is going back down.
Really strange exchanges, but Execration are not finding those openings they want. They do have buybacks though, so they've got that, and there's no chrono and egg. It can be a bit harder to siege there.
And that repair kit makes it very, very difficult.
Of course. Perfectly balanced item, Mike. Exactly what you want. You know, giving everyone access to a pseudo Lich 25 talent. What more could you want?
Not much.
Still, it's an awkward spot. Like you mentioned RR as Static Storm. It's not doing anything to stop Yamate. Like his BKB's all the way at 5, but it's actually not enough damage anymore. And he's got the Minotaur Horn anyway beforehand to give him a little bit more of an edge in these fights. So you gotta be careful with when you do. It has to be preemptive. That Static Storm. It has to stop the BKB. They're not able to really find it. That's an MKB up now on Yamate. So you can start piercing through. He has an easier time to start killing off Palos. And it's getting a bit dicey. That durability of the Naga, you're starting to not feel it anymore.
He's holding 6k. What does Palos want to buy here? Do we just go for a Moonshard and keep the treads? Do you want a hard up? Like, what is it he's getting? Maybe just
tough one.
I guess he could save the gold in case he doesn't feel confident and go for a Divine Rapier. It's not the greatest item on a Naga Siren, but it can still be pretty useful.
Yeah, it's not amazing. I think you would want to replace the boots, but Naga's not particularly fast. So you're gonna want like maybe a tier 5 boot from neutral items. That would save you a lot. If you find it. It doesn't, you know, that's leaving it up to RNG still. Lots of movements on the map. There is a smoke here in Palos.
Palos is going to break his smoke, go for the Abyssal. His team is starting to catch up. Chrono is going to be committed. And with the Torrent Storm, Palos is probably gone, and is. RR now going to get caught out by the X and the Torrent, and he is almost certainly just dead as well. And they're looking for more. Icarus dives forward. Barry does not spot anyone else out, but look at that, John. Perfect timing. The Roshan's up.
Of course. Nice place there from Mew. That was Execration smoke helping out New Esports. The smoke popped. They just stood there. Why? Why do you go in as the Naga? It's just questionable. They're in the pit. That's every single thing Roche has. Just beating up the homeless guy, getting his stuff for yourself, refresh on the deck. Axe upgrade as well. Who did he want to give that to?
They've already got an Ags on DDZ. They've got one on
Oh.
Yamate.
Yeah, they gave it to Yamate, and he.
No,
just
he's already
sold
got
off
one.
his
They've got
axe.
another one.
No, he
DDZ.
sold off his. Oh, he changed it to blessing, right? It's... No, I think Yamate ate it and then sold his ags earlier.
No. It's on Candy Loon, dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They just gave it to Candy Loon. So what is
No.
the...
No, that's not the blessing. That's the raw ag for King. So Yamate sold his ags and ate the blessing, free up a slot for himself.
You already had it, John. I've been watching it for the past 10 minutes. I'm pretty sure.
Then where's the blessing?
It's just ate by Candy Loon.
No, but Candy still has his ags. I'm telling you, you look at Candy, he doesn't have the blessing.
Dude,
He's got the scepter.
is your Dota bugged? Yeah, I think you... Dude, I'm...
What?
Yeah,
is
your Dota's
How is
bugged.
this bugged? How the hell is this bugged? Why am I still seeing the ags here in Barry?
No, not Barry. Candy Loon, John.
Candy Loon.
The
Candy Loon. Okay.
Jeez, you're going deaf now
Oh,
as well, hey?
God. Okay, there you go. Okay. It's very confusing. It's just been such a long game. It's a Naga game.
Yeah,
Started to
I
lose
forgive
track
you,
of
John. I
stuff.
forgive you. Don't worry, sir.
It's very confusing. High ground being siege. There's a song.
Yeah, Palos. Gonna get bashed again. I don't know about this, but the Static Storm is gonna be nice. Palos, well, they'll get the egg off in time. Nobody gonna focus down that egg. And Palos, he's been left behind here. Nobody there to help him out. They're gonna spin out the Mortimer's Kisses. They are getting low now. Swap from Mosin. Trying to help, but does die. Yamate still going for more. He does still have the Aegis, and now a 3-man bash off. Into the Torrent, into the boat, and they are gonna melt. Chrono also going to be out on the Tiny now. BDZ going to be in danger, but it's not the greatest Chrono. A bit rushed. It won't matter though. He has the Refresher Shard out on the Void. Now back in. On to the Naga Palos. Very low, but the Glimmer Cave will save. They are going to go for that Aegis. And they do, but Candy Loon does kill off Palos. Back in from our Void. Refreshes up. Chrono gets out. He is stuck by that kinetic field, but eventually does get on top of Carl. They will go swarm him up, but Carl's still in danger. Here comes Palos, however, fighting back up against Candy Loon with the Pit of Malice to be dropped. He is pretty darn tanky, and Palos, he can't fight back. Even with that BKB, he is probably going to die. He does get the song out, however, but DDZ is going to not get the Torrent off in time. He does have a Torrent Storm going, but they don't know where Palos went, and he will reset with the Aghanim Scepter song, and new Esports are forced to back.
Classic Naga games, isn't it? Especially without Ags and Palos. You get a push, you get one range racks up top, not even a melee. And Execration, they hold on. They're down a couple of buybacks, but that E-Blade is saving lives. The E-Blade from BDZ, just ensuring that it's not as easy for Yamate to find those kills. They're might want to have a nullifier on hand to take that off. It has been a consistent issue, but they go back in. Song gonna be up in 15. They're gonna lose that top melee.
They are. It's the tier 3 mid tower. Palos does Abyssal Blade up, and Yamate. Oh boy. That's a
Yeah.
glimpse back on your Phoenix, or rather, sorry, on Palos. They are going to be safe to walk out. They do have buyback on Palos. He should be right.
Yeah, it's quite the punishment on to New. So Execration still have a slight net worth lead. They hold on to their high ground. They are 1 racks up. Just down to 1 racks from 2 because New Esports did take out the entirety of the top lane. So a bit of a stalemate again. Dead even across the board in terms of kills. Dead even in net worth. New Esports. What are we starting to look for? Level 30. It's about time where you start to look for level 30. You're looking at tier 5 items to really start to tie in your itemization. Again, for Execration's end, I think Paulus will want some neutral item boots, unless he gets a really good neutral item instead. Maybe something like the Trident wouldn't be too bad for their Zeus here. if they wanted it. Like, that would be pretty fantastic for Carl. Still gonna be open. It's still about 2 minutes off, but I'm not sure if New Esports is up to forcing a fight without their Aegis advantage. Right? So they're gonna be waiting for the Roche. Both teams can't let that one go, and it's just gonna be a bit of a waiting game. We're at nearly the 60-minute mark, and somehow it's pretty even across the board.
It is. So what's DOTA Plus think? Well, it's been really up and down. Back to New Esports side of things, it's been a very confusing game. Not only for us, but for the AI.
Yeah, and it's time for the Dagons for BDZ, Mike.
Why not?
So, queuing up the Dagon 5 on the Tiny with the E-Blade. Always fun to see that coming into play. Just blowing someone up. And New Esports, they are smoked up though, but they get spotted.
Revealed straight away. Palos even with the Bloodthorn up now on the Naga Siren. So more control for this Void. Take the outpost back, and we are approaching that 60-minute mark, so we're about to have tier 5 items up.
Yeah. Gonna be... I think they're just gonna wait. They've got control in the jungle here for New. They could stall out for a minute. Just get that advantage, because Execration, they won't have as much jungle to play with. They've got the triangle pretty safe. It's just not as many camps. So New Esports is gonna have a leg up in that sense if they just play the patience game. Execration is just trying to shove around. You do have level 30 in Carl, actually, so he's got all his talents pretty good as well, right? Like cooldown reduction, added stun, static field damage, cast range. 25s are a bit boring, but it's pretty nice. I just want more heroes for that, I guess.
Yep. Well, we're about to get there on Yamate. He's 29. He's going to get the Chronosphere AoE pretty soon. Thunder God's Wrath going to give vision. Another smoke attempt that will not pan out. They might just try to force the...
Mosen?
Let's get a swap off, but he is by himself. Now with that Static Storm expended, can he survive through it? He can. The Sunray going to keep him safe, and... Oh, Palos! Yeah, he jumped into Palos. So now, poor old Mosen has to kill himself to save Yamate, and he still dies to BDC. They are really rushing now. They are not playing this... They're not coordinating properly. I think the timing of the game might be getting to them a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's dragging long, but to be in such a rush, I mean, we just talked about it. 60 minutes comes up. A more patient team would just go back, get those tier 5s up, get the neutral item advantage, and you're good to go. But they don't do that. They get punished. Now they go in for those tier 5s. They've got the boots, the woodland boots up. And they do also have force boots, so 2 boots. Yeah, 2 boots up for New. Freeing up slot for them if they wanted to. Still, invasion by Execration.
Yep. DDC. BKBTB out. Song is going to be a bit too late. They are not going to catch out the Punka. That just gives them a bit more time. Just avenge spirit. It's going to give him a bit more time to try and get the rest of their tier 5 items up. There's a Pyro Hat coming out.
Oh, you gotta love that.
Nice. Yeah, as if we needed more gold in this game, right? Now just guaranteed bounty runes.
Yeah, you want that. It's perfect. It's exactly what you'd want in this game, and well, it's that moment. It's 62 minutes. It's a Naga versus Void. It's it's that late game dream for both of these heroes.
Ooh,
Mike.
Trident came out.
Oh, there you go. Oh, perfect. Yeah, that's really good for Carl if he wanted it. You wouldn't mind it in your Naga as well, right? But, you know, you've got the Force Boots, as I was saying, Palos. He gets what he wants, you know? Pause 1, you ask and you shall receive.
Oh.
He gets to move fast again.
Oh, and poor old New Esports find a Ballista that nobody can use.
For Venge time, Mosen, transition. Not with that farm.
Absolutely not. It has our Trident gone to? Is anyone going to build it? Is it just not worthwhile? Like, I realize they don't have boots now, so they might just...
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big one, though. That Desolator, too.
Ooh.
That is a
Yeah,
nice
that's a
item for
big boon.
Yamate.
Exactly what they need. It does feel like they were lacking damage, right? You're seeing issues when you are up against a Naga. And that should help the cause. At this point, the Mask of Madness isn't doing it either, but still, into the pit. Again, everything Roche has, but look at this. Palos is ready.
They're scattered out. The Roshan does not last very long anymore. Palos gonna send some illusions in, but there'll be a smoke to come out. They're gonna try and sneak this one, New Esports. In fact, no, they'll go for the fight. Try and see if they can win this team fight out. You don't have level 30 yet on Yamate, but he tries to jump in. Won't get anyone. Palos right nearby, but they just don't want to jump him, it seems. Back to the Roshan. Actually blocked the staircase with those trees.
Love it. Gotta love it. Very cautious around that Roche, Mike. No one wants to be caught out here with her pants down.
A nice spit out there from Raging into the Mortimer's Kiss is just coming out. Who's he even aiming for? Just trying to get Mosen, who does get the swap off and does die, trying to save Yamate, but now Chrono does come out, still with the Torrent Storm. Palos does die, and will buy back. Back to the Roshan, however, they won't have time to contest. But there's so many items to pick up that they have to juggle all these items around. BDZ has been caught out of the tiny, although Song is going to be there into the Static Storm, but they let Yamate get out of there. He jumps back in fact. Palos could be in danger now. He's been hexed up. Yamate going to jump in with the bashes. Raging Potato getting in there for a gobble up, but he does go down. He has no buyback. Now RR also caught in the Pit of Malice, and he's guaranteed to die. But he can buy back. Back to it.
Man.
Off we go again. We can go high ground, but we got to defend base as well.
That's how it is. You know, you're playing against Naga. You're down 2 racks. There is no Song, but there's a buyback forced out. Song up in 10. Can they hold Yamate? He's hitting like a truck onto those tier 3s.
There we go. Your tier 3, your Rax is gone in the mid lane. Something tells me that Mega Creeps don't really matter in this game anymore, but BDC does get the Aegis. And that's actually so much damage on Yamate, but he's gonna... Oh, no, he missed the Chrono.
Yamate!
They got Carl anyway. It's okay, they got the Zeus. He will buy back. However, glimpse back onto Mosen. He'll be left behind. Palos won't be able to get anything done. The Dark Rift will allow everyone else to get out, apart from Mosen, who is going to die back. And now,
man.
well, now it's 2 Raxes down for each team. We have an equal game, John.
Oh, what is this? 16k lead now for New Esports. Refresh is flying out. You've got the Ag's blessing on DDZ, so he's got the slot for it. What? What's happening?
I don't know.
No. Oh, Carl's going for it, Mike. He's got the Kai and Sanch. He just lacks one part.
Oh, he sold it.
Gonna go for it?
Nice.
Oh, you lame-o. Carl, you bore me. No, come on, what are you doing? He's got a Kai and Sanch and a Yasha and Kaya.
He bought too many. He's got, you got a
Carl!
Yasha. Sort it out, Carl.
Come on.
Trying to figure this out. Like, what's the part of... There we go. There's your trident. Well done, Carl.
Now use it, Carl. Don't just have it there. There you go. Finally, I think this is the first time we've seen the trident, isn't it?
Not for... We casted it a few times, but it's been a long time since we've seen it.
Yeah. See if it makes a difference. Posture around that triangle. New Esports, gotta be cautious.
Oh, RR gets a glimpse back, but it was going to be onto Candloon, who does BKB up.
They've got a leg up here, Execration, because they've got a tier 2 still left. So, you know, they can be a bit more relaxed. And despite being 16k behind, they do have that. They've got the flexibility there. Still, you're approaching the ultra late point. BDZ has the level 5 Dagon with E-Blade. So you gotta be careful about that burst. Avalanche, Toss, E-Blade plus Dagon should still be enough to kill some heroes off, and we have seen it do work. And just gotta be really respectful of that fact. You can't you can't discount the fact that Execration has, you know, with a pirate hat, is gonna have those bounties every time. Raging, please use your pirate's hat. There you go.
Okay.
More bounties. Yep. 100.
Oh. Yamate. Nobody going to be able to catch anyone out.
You've got level 30 on Yamate.
It's always at this
right?
stage, right, where you see the teams both hitting creeps, and you know, like, they don't even mean to at this point. Like, they're just pushing. Oh, that's a nice static storm out. Yamate's gone. DDZ gonna go after Raging Potato now. Peter Malice not gonna hold him down. He does have the BKB on. DDZ gonna refresh now. Opts a refresher orb to get that torrent storm going again, but it's not gonna catch anyone. Not quite yet, but Carl, you're walking into the team fight, sir. He will go down. BDZ now also gonna drop. Oh, Carl, where was his attention? Raging now. Gonna get X back, does BKB with the refresher orb. Gonna try and avoid this somehow, but oh, he's trapped. He's gonna go for the TP play, but gets swapped out by Mosin. Now Mosin's trapped, but it won't matter. They got the target they wanted.
Oh boy,
This game has to be
coming
over.
out for Candy.
It has to be over now, though, right? Carl's
Is
gone.
it, Mike? Is it though? Are you sure about that? Buyback's still up for Tiny. That's all the burst you need when you've got a frontliner in the Naga. You know, you can't count them out yet, Execration. Tier 2.
They're rushing.
Back door.
They're rushing. Palos, he's trying to go for Mosin, but he does have an A on disc, and now Candylune gonna come in and help him out. Palos will not be able to try and sneak this one out. Candylune will be there to spam Firestorm, while the rest of his team does push out that tier 3 bot tower. That'll be a buyback on Raging being committed. Still, they should be able to 100% secure Mega Creeps here for new Esports. Again, I don't think that's going to really make a difference this game any longer, but they get them. And they're actually going to back off. That is a surprise.
Palos?
Unless Palos does get caught out, and I can see why they're backing off now. Palos is maybe gone. He does BKB, gets a song, and he'll go for a TP play out, but the BKB gonna wear off, not in time.
It's new Esports, Mega Creeps. Not gonna make too much of a difference, as you mentioned, Mike. 22k lead for new Esports. Somehow that doesn't feel significant, considering the items flying out for everyone. It just doesn't feel like. I mean, there are only so many slots in the game. Now, so it's down to play for both sides. It's down to catching those heroes out. If you punish Yamate, he did buy back. That would be a dieback for the next 5 minutes. You're also in that same situation here for Execration. You do not want to sacrifice your supports even. You did buy back in Raging Potato here as well. You have to be a bit cautious. They do smoke up though.
Okay, smoke up. Candylune, probably not the target they want to start with. Undergods for scouting purposes. Refresher Orb now up on the Void. So Yamate's got double chrono now. No boots, unfortunately, but double chrono is pretty good. A DD Rune's just sitting there. Are they trying to bait Yamate? Oh, BDZ not paying attention to the rune. Does miss out. He's got the DD. He'd love to fight right now. It's just
Palos?
caught out by the torrent of DDZ. Gonna be able to get away before the boat comes in. Mega creeps incoming. Nobody cares
Palos?
though, but Yamate jumps in with the chrono now onto Palos, but there's no damage flying out. Now we see some. He'll refresh again. No chrono yet. Can you get a song out? You cannot, but Palos will buy back. Now the team fight really starts. BDZ was caught out, but no, they're not going to go for him, but rather Yamate will go onto RR. And Palos. Manta dodges the stun from Mosin. And that'll be it. They're going to try and hold the high ground now. It is a 4v5, however, but there is a buyback now on the Disruptor.
Oops. Yeah, they're going to have to pop it. There is still a chrono up on you because they did refresh.
Oh, they're going for the Roshan.
Of course, hit it up. Poor guy. He's died every single time he respawned. Execration, you don't want to give this out. You're going to have to force a fight there.
Well, they get the Thunder God's Wrath to scout.
Are scanning for enemies.
Who even takes these items anymore? It's like, what are you going to do with these items on the Roshan? Like, Aegis is the only thing you want now. Maybe the Ag's Blessing is nice, but that's it.
Middle tower is
Just who
under
takes?
Almost everyone's got a blessing on the side of New. I don't know.
Mosin's lacking one,
You're
that's
running
all.
out. Yeah, just Mosin. Maybe you upgrade your Phoenix to free up the slot, but doesn't seem necessary. Just give it to Mosin. The fear is nice, right? Swap
I'd say
fear is
so.
pretty good. Yeah,
Seems
might as
good.
well have that utility. Still, just watch that Candy Loon soloing sneakily. Can't really tank it. Roche does hit pretty hard at this. He hits for 400, 500 damage per right click.
Jeez.
That scaling is pretty fun.
Oh, goodness me. Smoke up from New. Are they gonna rush the Ancient? They're drawing a line. It seems like they want to go through and back towards that top lane, but Carl would be there to break the smoke had they done so. Back towards that Roshan pit, it seems to New, as they're not sure what Execration are up to.
Just,
Palos.
oh
gets
no.
Hexed up, both to fly in, refreshed up by DDZ, and now the chrono is going to come out from Yamate, and he does go down. That's a dieback.
I don't understand. RR just left him. He didn't even drop the Static Storm. He literally watched his core die and walked away. Static Storm might have saved him.
Well, not only that, but he had a chance to song, I'm pretty sure. Yamate going to go for the Roshan.
It's this long games, man. It's this long games. It gets to the players as well. And that Roche, free one. 4v5 defense might make it 6v4 because of that Aegis and Cheese. How do you do this? And who gets the Ags upgrade? Yeah, it's Mosin. Thank you. Everyone with
nice.
Ags.
Everyone gets an axe. Well, not on Execration side. They're missing only one Ags on Execration. It's BDZ. So maybe he'll get one later on if we have enough time.
If they survive it, sure. Could be nice seeing that tree volley, but onto tier 4s.
Yamate. They'll jump in onto Carl. BKB's out, but great chrono there from Yamate. Catching 3 of them, and he jumps straight onto that Zeus. Buyback will come out, but you've also lost BDZ now. He does also have a buyback, however. That egg dropping low, but there goes Raging Potato. The Ancient now exposed. The creeps are doing the work for them, while Yamate is just diving and getting kills in the fountain. Gets another chrono off, and there's your GG call as Yamate will take an Ultra. Our 77-minute game 2 is now over. New Esports do manage to get the 2-0 victory.
Really, a back and forth game there in number 2.